Ali, 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 yeah. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7. I praise Allah for these lessons. I'm striving to be the message, and I thank Allah for His blessings. Ali was the circle 7.
Islamism. Well, let us rise upon the 7th and give all praises to the great God Allah, Father God Allah, and honors to His holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem. We give honors to our national flag, divine constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything. And I do mean everything that our holy prophet brought to make us a nation. But let us come forth with our ancient Comedian adept Moorish American prayer. And as we come forth, we ask that you open up your hearts and minds as we open up the way. Islam, Islamism. Ya Allah abnu heru makuneteru. Ya Allah abhat heru. Ya Allah ma'at heru kuti. Ya Allah ahwajet the duty. Ya Allah per im sutek per im heru. Ya Allah bamaduti. Allah hajat shepsis rayab to Ali. Amen. Haliyas. And that is to say, Moors, in transliteration, O Allah, the Father of the universe, O Allah, the Father of love, O Allah, the Spirit of truth, O Allah, the Spirit of peace, O Allah, the Spirit of freedom, O Allah, the Spirit of justice, O Allah, you are my protector, O Allah, you are my guide, O Allah, you are my salvation by night and by day, O Allah, through your holy prophet, O Allah, Drew Ali. Amen. Holy Issa, Salam, Moorish kin. Want to welcome our Moorish kin to another Moorish Perspectives, as I'm your host, instructor, Dr. Shahidi Money Amohadi Shabazz El, and now we come forth before you with the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. Salvation, our God, unity, the 7 supreme constitutional acts of law. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the Chairman of Moorish America empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the Prophet and the Grand Body of Moorish America. The Assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs, if he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the citizens of Moorish America. The bylaws, Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly, according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh. And on the Friday, the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced by all citizens of Moorish America. No citizen is to put in danger or accuse falsely his brother or sister on any occasion at all that may harm his brother or sister, because Allah is love. Act 4. All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. No organization of Moorish America is to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. With us, all citizens must proclaim their nationality, and we are teaching our people their nationality and the divine creed, that they may know that they are part and parcel of this said government, and know that they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slave holders in 1779 and lasted until 1865, during the time of slavery. But this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient Moabites, whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. Act 7. All citizens must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and a partial of all uplifting acts of Moorish America. Moorish Americans must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of Moorish America, and then you're entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband and take care of your children and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, through the guidance of his Father God Allah. Prophet Noble Drew Ali, peace and blessings be upon him, founding father and framer of the divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. And now that this meeting has been opened according to the triune acts, Acts 1, 2, and 3 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, we say Islam, Islam, Islamism. The providence of Allah is ever all his works. He ruleth and directed with infinite wisdom. He had instituted laws for the government of the world. He had wonderfully varied them in all beings, and each by his nature conformeth to his will. Shemotepu Moorish King.
Islam, Islam, Islam. Much gratitude and honor to our national giving honor to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to our class this evening, giving honor to each and every one of you. Chapter 52, Holy Instruction from the Prophet, the Social Duties. When thou considerest thy wants, when thou beholdest thy imperfections, acknowledge his goodness, O Son of Humanity, who honored thee with humanity, endowed thee with speech, and placed thee in society to receive and confer reciprocal helps and mutual obligation, protection from injury, thy enjoyments of the comforts and the pleasures of life. All these thou owest to the assistance of others, and couldst not enjoy but in the bands of society. It is thy duty, therefore, to be a friend to mankind, as it is thy interest that man should be friendly to thee. As the rose breatheth sweetness from its own nature, so the heart of a benevolent man produces good works. He enjoyeth the ease and tranquility of his own breast, and rejoiceth in the happiness and prosperity of his neighbor. He openeth not his ear unto slander. The faults and the failings of men give a pain to his heart. His desire is to do good, and he researcheth out the occasions thereof. In removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. From the largeness of his mind, he comprehendeth in his wishes the happiness of all men, and from the generosity of his heart, he endeavoreth to promote it. Islam, Islam, Islam. Today is Saturday, September 2nd, 2023. We want to welcome everyone to a Moorish Perspective, sponsored by our Moorish American government. Much gratitude and honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shadwa Menti El-Mohamed Cheptuel, for opening our meeting according to law. Also to our National Grand Secretary of State, Dr. Hatshepsut Tutankhamun Bey, for taking registration and reading our subject chapter for the week. Our host instructor, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shadwa Menti El-Mohamed Cheptuel. Our subject matter coming from our subject chapter for the week, Ayat 6. Our desire is to do good, and we research it out, the occasions thereof. In removing the oppression of another, we relieve it ourselves. Also, Moors, check your emails for the link to tonight's class, and at this time, without further delay, we want to call to the floor our host instructor, National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shadwa Menti El-Mohamed Cheptuel. Islam. Muted. Unmuted.
Islamism, pardon self, family, gratitude. Want to give honors to your Grand National Secretary of the State. For that is special droid. Praise be to Allah, Islamism without the schism. The most powerful measure brought forth from our Father's treasures. And it don't get no more powerful than this, family. In fact, we have been taught a lot about life and unfolding into life, and we just want to rise again and give praises to the great God Allah and honors to his holy prophet, honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, El-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, that is. We give honors to our Moorish kin once again, here, there, and everywhere, and therefore honors to all of you who are continuously honoring yourselves by being yourselves. We give honors to our Grand National Seal. We give honors to our Grand National Emblem, National Flag, Divine Constitution and bylaws, and honors to all of you who are indeed a living manifestation and personification of everything that our holy prophet brought to make us a nation. I want to give honors to our family, all of those who have checked in via social media, and all of those within the sound of my voice. I want to give honors to our beloved brother, Noble Brian L., Facebook user, Gabri, I think that is Exibahir. I think that's the way we pronounce it. Family, forgive me if I butchered it. Facebook user, we already gave honors to our family, and Denato Bosco. Honors to you too, family. Checking in, indeed from London. And also our brother Yaqub El Hamid Yamoubay. Honors to all of you, family. Want to make sure you spread the word. Be sure, to share, hit the like button so we can take advantage of this algorithm and get this message out there to the people. And make sure you share this and share this and share this, because our people need this information so that they may learn how to deal with each other. We hear a lot of times people going back and forth over different information. But we don't just go back and forth on the information here, especially without a cause. We give our people information. We also give our people holy instructions, divine instructions that will get them through their life, things that they can make applicable to themselves. So we got a grand subject matter to bring forth again, and this is actually dealing with part 2 in the holy instruction from the prophet on social duties. And for those who may fear that word prophet and think that we getting off into some religiosity, you might want to think again, because in ancient Kemet, there were those who actually were known as, Bemaduti. They were known as the prophets of Amun, the first prophet of Amun, the second prophet of Amun. You know, anybody know what Amun mean? Amun actually represents the hidden one, the one that is within you, the higher seat of consciousness and your divinity. This is why we refer to our way of life as a divine creed. You know, and that creed is far more ancient than most modern religions in the first place. So nevertheless, our subject title coming from this special chapter, we'll be dealing with Ayat 6, you know, and it is actually our desires to do good. And we research it out the occasions thereof in removing the oppression of another, right? We relieve it ourselves. So basically, we relieve ourselves by aiding and assisting everybody else because we know that we are here to demonstrate reciprocal help and mutual obligations. So it is our very desire to do good. And if you've been following these measures that we've been demonstrating throughout the week, we have been telling our people, contrary to popular belief, in the Arab world, when you hear something about, you know, Islam, this is what they get you caught up into religiosity. But we transcend beyond the concept of religiosity and actually unfold through the degrees of Islam, and it becomes what we call I self law and master, I self Lord and master. I separate Lucifer and man. These are different acronyms that we use to give our particular expression, you know, of this drawing, as opposed to just say, all right, we here to surrender. You know, and once you understand this, then you understand, like we told you, Islam is just the first degree, you know, whether they know it or not. But then when you go beyond that, you go into Imam, and then you go into what we call Ihsan, and then we go into what we say Muslim as a first degree. Second degree is Mu'min, true believer. Third degree is Mushinun, doer of good deeds. So the highest degree expressed in Islam, whether the Muslims know it or not, is not being a Muslim, merely a Muslim, or not merely accepting Islam, but it has to do with accepting what we call being a doer of good deeds. Being a doer of good deeds. So when I bring this measure forth in our Moorish Holy Quran, because no truth contradicts another truth, our desire is to do good. So we research it out, and you can see it, the occasions thereof, doing good and removing oppression of another, we relieve ourselves. In other words, we can't be free unless our people are free. We can't be good unless our people are good. You see, this is what we're getting at. We want to reach a level to where we come to a state of where we are injured, then we feel the same degree of being injured as our brother and our sister. And once we are able to get into that special way of thinking, then we will begin to try to aid and assist each other because we understand our plight. We feel the same thing. We have been through or maybe going through the same thing. So you want for your brother or your sister what you want for yourself. You don't want to suffer, so you don't want to see them suffering. You see? And we can go on and on and on if we were to really drive the hammer repetition home, you know, in reliance of dealing with this special truth. So once we understand, you know, the realization of what it means and what it really represents to be a doer of good deeds, you know, this is what we should be striving toward. In fact, it is the work that we do that becomes a ladder strong by which men may be able to climb up into their divinity. You see, we have to lay a foundation for those who are coming behind us. If we are in the pitfalls of what we call human knowledge, if we are in the state of an insufficiency of knowledge, then there must be a ladder strong that represent the life works of maybe a leader, the life works of maybe a master teacher, the life works of who we call prophets, God men, God women, so to speak. You know, a ladder strong which they leave that those who come behind them may be able to climb out of that special condition. That's powerful. There's a lot of symbology dealing with this ladder. Some people call it a stairway to heaven. You know, in the Grand Quran, whether we know it or not, what they call surah, the Arabic word that is called surah, really in reference to Sarah, it actually has to do with what we call a stairway to heaven. Every chapter represents, you know, one's ability to climb up into a higher degree of understanding and unfoldment. But most people don't look at it, they just look at it like, well, this is just a chapter in a book. So one should be able to ascend and mount up, so to speak. And this is why even in Surah 70 in the Grand Quran, it speaks of the Lord of the ways of ascent. And it talks about the spirit and angels ascending in a period of time which seems to the carnal senses as if it were 50,000 years. In other words, it would take 50,000 years to travel the journey, you know, into the heights of divinity that an angel would have to travel, that a spirit would have to travel to reach, you know, those realms beyond or outside of the universe, so to speak. In other words, and be in the presence of the Creator. Because in the Grand Quran, it says Allah created 7 heavens and then he rose above those heavens. Well, scientifically, if you were to understand this accordingly, you understand that there are 7 different layers, you know, in the atmosphere. You have your, you know, your troposphere, your mesosphere, your ionosphere, you know, and we can go on and on. But nevertheless, by the time you get outside of that special atmosphere, you know, then surely this represents a consciousness that pervades, you know, over everything in creation. Everything in creation is encapsulated by this consciousness. You see, and this is what intelligence, or rather the intelligent designer, dwells, so to speak. So this is a powerful demonstration, family, when you can see it from this special aspect. That's why in the Arabic it say he created the 7 heavens and he rose, istawa, meaning he rose above the heavens. You know, and all of this has to do with a thing macrocosmically as well as microcosmically. So when we become doers of good deeds, then we reach a particular level, what we call fruition. And fruition is to come into the epitome of what life is spent to build, and that's the temple of perfected man. And when you find our brother Yehoshua, you know, whom a lot of people call Yeshua, or maybe Isa, or some people call Jesus, when you find him in the Moorish Holy Quran, he was climbing up the 12-step ladder of salvation. You see, yet his life works in the way that he lived his life became a ladder strong. Just as Prophet Noble Drew Ali, whom we refer to as Yehoshua, will come again in this new era in time. He became a ladder strong by which we could climb up into our divinity. We ain't talking about climbing up into the realm of spookism. We're talking about climbing up into the heavens that are above your neck. Because we know heaven is a state of mind. So it was our master teacher. It was our Egyptian adept. It was our Baba, so to speak, in this Moorish paradigm, pardon self, that Prophet Noble Drew Ali himself laid a foundation for us. You know, we ain't saying this in the realms of worshiping the man. We giving you the divine plan of what he was demonstrating, because he didn't want people to look at him in the lights of worshiping him, you know, and so forth and so on. So the whole key is that we, and he said this right here, my good Moors are gonna live. So look, our desire is to do good, right? He said my good Moors are gonna live. He also said that he was gonna take his good Moors up above the sun, moon, and stars and around the almighty throne of Allah. In other words, through his teachings, through what it is he has brought to people. We ain't talking about no spookism. We're saying that the wisdom that he brought us, these adept instructions that he brought us, will give us the ability to elevate from a corner way of thinking, from a materialism state of mind, from a state of thinking along the lines of materialism, into a state of high consciousness, because you can build something with that type of thinking. You can't build anything with thinking solely along the plane of things made manifest, where you think everything is based upon materialism and what you can see materialize before you. If you thinking like that, then you burn up from the start. So Prophet Noble Drew Ali didn't teach us like a preacher or like a pastor. You see, he didn't sing to us no Jesus songs. He taught his people self-mastery, because the basis of everything we demonstrate, there's a method and a methodology that relates to what it is that these teachings are based on. So we would tell you it's all about dealing with the chemistry, the ministry, and the mystery. These are three phases of the life of every man, woman, and child. You know, as they unfold from a state of a child into a man and a woman, so to speak, they themselves have to unfold from a state of being in what we call youth, man and womanhood, and into maturity. And so these phases of unfoldment, again, have to do with the chemistry of mortal life, understanding, you know, what life is spent to build. The ministry, meaning whatever your purpose is. We ain't talking about getting behind no pulpit and preaching to nobody. That ain't what we mean. We're saying your purpose. Your purpose is your ministry. You see? And then we have what we call the mystery of deific life. Then you understand, you know, that God was never a spook outside of you, that the great God always existed inside of you. The great God always directed man by sending a man. If he wanted to speak to man, then he raised one up amongst man in order to convey his message. And this removed all the spookism out of the way, because the man himself becomes a conduit through which the creator expresses himself. This principle goes back way before Christianity. It goes back way before Al-Islam. It goes back to ancient Kemet. It goes back to the ways of our ancestors. This is the way that it was demonstrated when you deal with Afrocentricity, if you want to call it that. Our people always understood that they were the conduit through which the supreme reality expressed itself, irregardless of whatever name you would like to use. It don't matter which name you can call them, whatever you call them. It's just different terminology in different nations, you know, different cultures, so to speak, that people getting all caught up by. You know, but the true essence that has always been taught across all the way across the board is that you are the expression of the supreme reality. Outside of you, we don't see an expression of the supreme being unless he expresses himself in someone else that he may be sending to you. You see? So this is it right here. If he wants some love to come, he gonna send somebody to demonstrate that love. If he wants some truth to come, he gonna send somebody to demonstrate that truth. If he wants some peace, freedom, and justice to come, then he gonna send somebody to demonstrate that peace, freedom, and justice, and they represent him. You ain't got to be somebody that's just so special, but many are called, yet few are chosen. So if one is truly chosen and one is truly basically ordained, as some people will say, not by man, but if that doorway has been open for them to be a teacher of their people, a leader of their people, can't nobody get in the way of that. It is nothing that someone can do to hinder you from whatever it is you're trying to accomplish or whatever it is you're trying to build, unless you believe that their power extends beyond your power, which is God power, which is saving power, not coming from a spook, but coming from your necessity to know thyself, coming from your drive to be yourself. And that's being one with the divine consciousness that pervades over, in, through, out, all creation. It don't get no plainer than that. So if you scared of that, then you scared of yourself, and you also burn up from the start. So, you know, Prophet Noble Drew Ali told us that his good Moors would also, if they followed his instruction, that they would share power. This is another thing. Now, a lot of people think that this is just, okay, we're going to share power with the prophet. That's a good thing. Nothing wrong with that if we're thinking on that level, because we share power with our ancestors. All of those who have went before us, all of those who have transcended the plane of things made manifest and ascended into a height of divinity. Minus doubt of contradiction. But really, the sharing of power has to do with us that are still here on the plane of things made manifest. So when we begin to properly distribute this power of self-determination, when we properly distribute this power of deific will, unanimous will to be a people, be one, that's power. Anything else, if it's harmful to you, if it brings your detriment, then this is weakness. And you can't get strength from weak sources. Not if you're trying to tap into power. You see, we're not talking about the illusion of power. We're not talking about pseudo power. You know, where one man think he mightier than everybody else because of something he may have material, you know, and another person may not have what he has. That's not power. You see, power is really being able to change your condition without being hindered by somebody else. You know, because you can't be one with God and still be a slave. That don't make no sense. If God is all powerful, then that means you must have a weak God. Are did I say you may be weak yourself? Because we ain't dealing with no spookism. You see? So this is a grand drawing, family. So in our teachings, our instructions on social duties, we learn these things. So we have to ask ourselves, is our desire to do good by each other? Is our desire to do right by each other? Do we research it out occasions to be able to express this to each other? Do we seek to remove oppression from each other? Because this is where we relieve ourselves. Contrary to popular belief and popular opinion, many people would tell you that, you know, when it comes down to helping others, you know, you can bring harm to the self, but it's not really that type of part. It ain't that type of degree, family. What's really being said is that, again, you need your people. We need each other in order to truly be powerful. How do we know this? All you got to do is look at every other nation outside of us. How do you think they are able to raise up and rise to the occasion, so to speak? Just think about that for a minute, because most of them are in cahoots with each other. They agree with each other. They're doing the work together. They're working as a collective. They're working as a unit. They're working in unity. They're working as a body, you see? But for some reason, this is something that we have been yet able to accomplish over many centuries in this recent time that we're living in. It is hard for us to actually sit down and come together. And even if we do, you know, the unity don't last long. You see, so we have to ask ourselves the question, well, who are we doing this for? Are we doing this for the selfish self? Are we doing this for the young and not yet born? The third and fourth generation that's coming behind us. Are we doing it for ourselves, solely what we can obtain from it? Or are we doing it because we have a love, a genuine love for our people? Just like all of the master teachers that came before us, we give honors to all of them. Just like the Grand Quran state about prophets, we don't discriminate between master teachers. We don't make them rivals against each other. That's not being somebody that's able to demonstrate and do good. And if you are listening to me and you are hearing me say this, and it makes you feel some type of way, you know, then that means you must check your thinking, family. You have to check your thinking. If it offends you when you hear somebody tell our people, we need to unite, we need to come together. We didn't say we need to usurp somebody's way of life. We didn't say we need to change the way somebody demonstrates in their culture. We need to come together on common grounds. Because if your teaching does not teach you that, then that's the flaw in your teaching right there. I don't care what it is you say you stand on. If you can't find anywhere in your teaching where it's showing you to bridge the gap between your people, irregardless of what y'all may believe, then you part of the problem. Because sometimes it can be right there in the book that you say you believe in, and you will still ignore it. So this goes to show it ain't even got nothing to do with the message or the message being brought. It has something to do with the way you accept the message that's being brought. That's something that you trying to add into a particular way of life that don't exist there. For example, the Arabs do it all the time. A lot of people that's in the church and Christianity also do it all the time, unfortunately. They say, you know, I love my brother. Jesus taught me love, but let somebody come up there that they believe is not believing in what they believe in. And watch what happens. That teaching go out the door then. The teachings of love then go out the door. And we can go into many different other areas, but we're not here, you know, just to critique, you know, the wrongs. We are here to make the wrongs right. That's the purpose of what it is we're trying to demonstrate. Because if we can do that, then we can sit down at the same table and break intellectual bread and really build each other up and be filled or full by the time that we leave each other. Not leaving with a hypocritical thought of hypocrisy. Yeah, that Negro think he, you know, you just sat down at unity with your brother. You know, you just sat down at a table of oneness and then you still leave with the same mindset. Something wrong with that picture. Especially if you say your teacher taught that, or your master teacher that the teaching was revealed to, that he taught that. But you're doing everything in your power to go in opposition to what it is you say your master teacher or your teacher taught. That don't make sense. Either that or who sent you? You must be somebody's lapdog or agent, provocateur or somebody outside of that. You see? Because you don't have to accept a particular way of life in order to unite. All you got to do is come together and unite and have a unanimous will to be free. And then you can go back and be whatever it is that you want to be. You can be whoever you want to be, but at least come together long enough to come into unity so you can make the necessary move in order to put you and your people on another level. You see what I'm saying? So we have to ask ourselves, do we desire to do good by each other? That's the first question we got to ask ourselves. Because somebody that desire to do good by their brother and sister would not do something, you know, that's going to cause demarcation. For those who don't know what demarcation is, it simply means division. So you ain't going to do something that causes a divide and conquer factor, you know, to be brought forth. You ain't going to do something that's going to cause your people to be sent in a disarray. You ain't going to do something that's going to cause your people to be separated from each other and have a reason to hate each other. In fact, you should be working, if you have a pure thought, you pure in your heart and mind, you should be working to find on a way how you can bridge the gaps. If you are fighting against that, then you part of the problem. Again, like I said, you don't have to accept what one demonstrated. You don't have to accept what one believes. We saying, can you tolerate your brother and your sister? Can you tolerate your brother and your sister? Can you even tolerate, you know, your own blood, your flesh and blood, your family? Can you tolerate it? We can go on and on, family, with this measure. So this is very powerful, family. We just trying to get our people to think. Because outside of us thinking, you know, we can say we know all of this. We can say we got all of that. We can say this and say that, you know, but in all actuality, if we are not able to make that information useful, again, and applicable to change our conditions, then something is wrong. And the majority of the time, you know, your people, or many people, Don't want to have nothing to do with that. You see? So again, don't think we getting up here caught up in no religiosity. Religion, we respect other people's religion. But this is a way of life. That's what we're talking about. Can you become so firm that you accept your way of life and you're able to live by that? The creed that come with it, and be unmovable, unshakable, unbreakable. You see? Can you do it? That's only something that you can answer when it comes to dealing with questions and answers, right? So this is one of the main things. We're dealing with social duties, so we have to learn how to be good peoples. We're going to say it that way right there because everybody know who good peoples is. I don't care where you go around the ghettos of so-called North America. Anywhere you see our people and you see somebody that is of high standard, no matter where they come from, what block they come from or whatever. When somebody say that's a good brother right there, that carry weight. When somebody say that's a good sister right there, that carry weight. That means that you are 100% pure when it comes to dealing with your business. Yeah, this is powerful. So we have to clean our face, family. Do good and be great. Do good and be great, family. Half of us that feel like we may be failing or we are not able to obtain our goals and accomplish what it is that we set out to accomplish is because we have already killed our success. And if you kill your success, this is what I would call progressive suicide. Self-destruction. You see, self-destruction. Man. So every problem that you can think of now in our inner cities and that our youth may be going through are, the average family of, the sun-kissed hue. All of them have had their particular demons that they have had to battle. All of them have at some time had obstacles before them. But it didn't stop them from accomplishing what they willed. And that's another thing. You got to know how to demonstrate what we call willpower. And it simply has to do with just being you, simply. It ain't got to do with nobody else outside of you. It has to do with you, yourself. Can't nobody make you be you. And you can't get mad at nobody because they ain't willing to put in the work to make you be you. You have to determine within yourself that you gonna be you, meaning the greater portion of you. Because each and every one of us have unlimited capacity and potential for growth. We have the potential for growth, family. We have the potential to deal with what we call being progressive, but sometimes our tendencies become misdirected. And we end up falling into that bottomless pit of misery. Nothing that we feel we can do to accomplish something or offset the karma that has been passed down from generation to generation. A lot of people like to refer to this as generational curse, where you should be the generational curse breaker. If you on the manifest in this era in time, you that one that came to clean house. You that one that came to exile the demons. You the one that came to run the devil back into hell. Huh? If we've been catching it. So when it come down to dealing with that, if you feel some type of way, I'm the only one that had this knowledge and my family acting crazy when I bring it to them. Because you was chosen. Remember, I say you can't get strength from weak sources, so they can't get the strength for these teachings or the lessons of self-mastery from you if you weak. If you willing to compromise what it is that make you greater or make you better because of somebody feels some type of way about what it is you stand on. You can't be a true man thinking like that. You can't be a true woman thinking like that. You can't be a true descendant of the gods or the great God thinking like that. It's impossible. Weakness only begets weakness. Weakness represents a seed. Strength represents a seed. Huh? Even in the Piscean records of what they call the Bible, which Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, don't throw it away because he's going to use it to condemn the Europeans. So we using it to condemn that Eurocentric thought pattern that our people have within them. So the seed, if you plant a seed of weakness, and that's why we got to stop listening to people, that come out here and they try to slay your dream. They want to kill, your desire of purpose, having purpose, something to live for, because they have chosen to give up. So now they want you to accept what it is that they demonstrating as well. So that, and the only reason they're doing that is because they don't feel comfortable where they are alone. And this is why they say misery love company. So if they miserable and they created this misery, we call it Hotel Les Miserables. That's an actual place in a movie. You should watch the movie. Matter of fact, that was one of our beloved brother Tupac favorite books. Les Miserables. I remember, I'm going to try to, it was a song they was actually saying because I seen the movie. It was something like look up, look down. I think it said, basically something is all around, look up and look down, and it had to do with your chains, still being bonded to this special demonstration. So, and it went into actually showing how people was being made, a statistic or a number, just like they do in modern day penitentiary. Look up, look down, don't look them in the eye. Look up, look down, you here until you die. Hey, you better not look mouse in the eye. They call that reckless eyeballing, right? So when we get into this special aspect, we got to learn to have the ability and the desire to do good for each other. We got to be good brothers to good brothers. We got to be good mothers, sisters. We got to be good sisters to sisters. We got to be good brothers and sisters to each other, brothers and sisters. Where's the intent? What is the intent? Well, we already know you can't do what I just said if it's, again, about the selfish self. You got to learn how to demonstrate selflessly, instead of selfishly. Difference between the two. Everybody know and seen those who demonstrate on the selfish level. But we have yet to see those among our people who are willing to demonstrate on the selfless level. You see? Keep that in mind. That's very important that we understand that, because that's the root to being able to repair. And a lot of people don't know that word repair is at the root of the word reparations. It's a lot of big talk around here going on now about reparations. You can't even get that if you ain't got no unanimous will to be free. So why you think our people ain't got it yet? After all the meetings and sit down they had. Because they don't have a universal oneness. In fact, the root again of the word reparations, repair, is there. So we must repair our way of thinking. We must repair the way that we see things, because if we change the condition of our thought pattern, then the things that we perceive will begin to change. The things that we are looking at will begin to change. And it all has to do with the way that we think. And we thought it was somebody else outside of us. No, it's the way that we perceive somebody. You see? That's powerful. So yeah, our desire is to do good by each other. If you do good, then you will be surrounded, the ethers around you will be saturated in good karma. But if you are one that is going to and fro the earth, in the earth, seeking whom you may devour, if you're trying to tear down and drag out the true foundation of the family of the nations, and you trying to keep people separated and divided, because you have your own agenda, you want to be the new slave, master slave, make a slave, break a slave, catch a slave holder, then you're going to have some karma that come to you as a result of that. But if you are somebody, again, that has a desire to do good, then good things will happen. Good things will come to you. And your efforts will seem effortlessly. So you'll seem like you ain't even had to do too much. Because it's in tune with divinity. It's in tune with, basically the way things are meant to unfold. So if we're not able to go into a state to where we're able to be real with ourselves, if we're not able to embrace our flaws, our imperfections, and be willing to work on those things, then the worst is yet to come, family. The worst is yet to come. And we can't blame nobody else but ourselves. This is the most important thing that we have to comprehend right now. We got some masterminds among our people, family. There's nothing the Roman did, the European has done, that has stifled our intelligence. We just choose to give our intelligence up like the Arabs was giving up crude oil years ago. And they weren't necessarily giving it up. They was really Thanksgiving because they were really taking it. So just as you have a lot of people depleting the world or the earth of resources, there are those who have been depleting our people by exploiting their intelligence and using it for their own benefit. And we don't make no outcry about that. We don't say nothing about that. Well, I guess that's the way it is. We don't want to say nothing, go through hell, catching hell. The way that they bring it to the people, and next thing you know, when you see somebody rise up and try to change the condition, all of a sudden you got something to say now. You want to play devil's advocate now. And when now, that ain't the time to play devil's advocate. Because if the devil is the one that's oppressing your people, then for you to advocate from the devil, then you must be with him. Let me play devil's advocate. What is the need for that? If we have people already willing to think on a higher level and do good deeds, do good work, what is the need for somebody to play a devil's advocate? You ain't gonna strengthen us no more than we done been strengthened. You can't teach us no more about slavery than we already know. If we conscious. Now, I ain't talking about the one that don't believe they were slaves. And our sister Harriet Tubman had a grand solution for that too, by the way. I'll let you figure out that. But what I will say is, we got to stop allowing people to take advantage of us, family. We have become the laughing stock of the world. Everybody using you up. Everybody taking advantage of you. Everybody taking everything it is that you have brought forth with your own hands, with your own mind, your inventions, claiming it as their own. You don't even own your own body. Anytime you can have a system where you can take a bomb, this is what they call them, people that live outside the house, that's what they call them now. And they take them and then house them, and they make $100 a day off of them in state institutions, and let them get caught up in a federal institution, and that's $1,000 a day. They worth a whole bunch of money. Think about what that $1,000 is by the time you get to the end of a year. Think about how much that $100 is by the time you get to the end of a year. Now, this is per inmate in these institutions. So when you look at this here, right? Now, think if you got 50,000, I'm just using a rough number, and they making this type of money off of each and every person it is. Now you see why it's on the stock market, don't you? Now you see everybody why they want to invest in that, don't you? Because they know that out of every other business in the world, that's one business that'll never falter. Imprisonment, warehouses, human warehousing. This will continue to be going on. I don't care how much we advance in technology. I don't care how much artificial technology is being brought forth. Yeah, they're going to have people, man, that's still going to be being enslaved under that 13th Amendment. Oh, did I say for committing the crime? Oh, did I say, wait a minute, the crime was being a so-called black man. The crime is being a so-called Negro. The crime is being under the color of the law in the first place. Because you already know what the color of the law represents based on an officer's statement. You going to jail. That's the color of the law. It ain't got nothing to do with a so-called Negro, black, or colored man neither. You see? Man, we got to wake up, family. How many times can we have? Because, I mean, it don't even matter. Our people be hollering about they love the way our brothers used to demonstrate, our brother like Malcolm and Martin and all these different people. But we living in a new era in time. We got more at our fingertips. We have more proof than them brothers had during their time of what's being done to us. And still some of our people are ignoramus enough to accept, well, this is just the way it was meant to be. Well, if you think like that, you stay over there where you at. But don't you come running your mouth about nothing that's got something to do with some real freedom if you want to remain a slave. And that'll stop the conflict. If you want to be that, stay over there. But the one that want to do what they doing or what we doing and do what we doing when it comes to freeing our people, then you just keep your mouth closed and stay over there where you at. I ain't saying that to be mean. I'm just saying that'll solve the problem, right? I'm pretty sure our family can agree with that. You ain't got no business having no opinion when you don't want to be involved with liberating your people. So what you talking for? That's the mentality we got to have when we're dealing with these people. If they don't want to deal with, if you first, when you talk about liberation, as soon as you hear them come out their mouth, family, you hear them say, well, man, we can't do that because if we try to do that, this gonna happen. You automatically know where they at. Leave them where they at, family. They ain't ready to be free yet. They want to remain somebody else's slave. And they'll rather remain there than take the chance of losing their chains. Because that's all you got to lose, your chains. What else do you have to lose? Ask yourself that question. You ain't got nothing to lose but your chains, mentally, physically, and spiritually. So this is, man, all I can say is we definitely got to start again doing good by each other. You know, this is all a part of social duties. We got to learn how to be on the front line of defense when it comes to each other. You know, we need to be looking for situations where we can take that opportunity, as our beloved family, you know, in the Black Panther Party used to say back in the days, seize the time. Seize the time to do good for your brother and your sister. Seize the time to be able to make a moment, a teachable moment when it comes to dealing with your people. Seize the time to be able to help your people build themselves up, to be able to be a part and parcel of something that has to do with building up and uplifting your community. Seize the time when your time comes. You see? I mean, how many other ways can we say it? How much more does it has to be emphasized? Should nobody have to make you do what's right? Should nobody have to tell you over and over again, you know, to accept something that's right for you? If you are thinking on a rational level, then you should automatically adopt the program. You should automatically accept the programming, the reprogramming in all actuality when it comes to dealing with, you know, the thought pattern or the mindset and so forth and so on. but somebody else has been manipulating us. Somebody else has been taking advantage of us. Somebody else has run amok, and left us astray, right? This is crazy. The cycle has to be broken, family. We have to break the cycle. We can go over and over and over again. I remember hearing some of the speeches of our brother Marcus Garvey, Marcus Mosai Garvey L, as we call him, and he said, "Would I not die and go to hell for you over 1,000 times?" So our people been hard-headed, mean, and stiff-necked, like Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, for years. They can be sitting right there and they can see the liberation in front of them. And still they gonna buck. I don't know about nobody else, but I ain't no pain freak, family. And I don't like a lot of conflict. So you can take that for what it's worth. We want to give honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali for continuing to work from the plane of soul, inspiring our Grand National Chairman, Dr. Akhenaten Pert M. Heru, Tutankhamun Bey, inspiring him to bring forth our Moorish flags, seals, ensigns, and so forth and so on. And sooner than later, the world over will be bearing witness, pardon self, to all of this work that we getting ready to unfold. So I'm just telling our people to keep, their ears to the pavement, so to speak. And also, if you ain't ready, get ready. If you are ready, stay ready. And that way you ain't got to be made to get ready. So what I'm going to do, I want to open up the floor a little earlier tonight. So our subject title, again, coming from the holy instructions of the prophet dealing with social duties. Again, we're talking about our desire is to do good. And we researched out the occasions thereof in removing the oppression of the other, another. We relieve ourselves, family. Shimo Tepu to all of our family out there. Zoo 221. Peace and love. Cameron Manbay. Honors to your family. Hino Tice. I think that's Hino Nice. SYF A21. Honors to your family. Cali Cuz. Honors to your family. Peace and love to you all. Charles Royale. Peace and love, family. So it's time to begin to think on the lines of dealing with being a collective. That's the gist of what it is that I'm bringing forth. Praise be to Allah, Islam. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the floor right now. Ask our family to *6 their phone so that they can give their measure, because it don't take long to tell the truth. It don't take long to be the truth. Islam. *6 your phone, Moors, if you would like to come forth and give your measure. And I'm going to drop this link too, just in case anybody in our audience would like to come up here and give their portion. Anybody can come. Only thing we ask that our people be respectful. Other than that, all is well. So are you there, family? *6 your phone if you would like to bring forth your measure, exercise your 5. Let the world know you're alive, Moorish America. Islam. Can you hear me out there, family? Look like I'm about to start drafting in a minute.
We can hear you, National Assistant Grand Class.
Islam. Islam. Gratitude, family. Islam. Well, that means Moorish America can hear me. What you scared of, Moors? If you're scared, say you're scared. That's all right. But you ain't got no reason to be scared to speak the truth. And I'm pretty sure if you understand the truth, then you agree with the truth. Come on in here. *6 your phone.
Islam.
Islam, more.
Gratitude, National Assistant Grand Sheik. Can you hear me, sir?
Islam, yes, sir. Peace and love, brother.
Gratitude. All praises be to the great God Allah, honor to his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Islam. Once again, I rise and I give praise to the Almighty Great God Allah. I give the highest honors to His holy prophet, our holy prophet, the noble Drew Ali. His high name, Sheikh El Sharif Abdul Ali. I give high honors to the greatest forerunner ever, Marcus Jose Garvey L. I give high honors to our theocratic Moorish American government. I give high honors to Act 1, our divine constitution bylaws, our government official staff, and citizens. And I also give high honors to you, our National Assistant Grand Sheikh, Prime Minister Dr. Shadua Minty. I'm going to Shep Sorrell for this Grand Moorish Perspective class tonight. And I also give high honors to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Our Moorish flag, Grand Emblem, Grand Steel. All my Moorish kin that spoke before me and all my Moorish kin that will speak after me and everything that is Moorish. Islam, Islam, Islam. Environment, Dr. Gil Myers Bay, Apalachicola, Florida territory. And for this grand class tonight, Grand Man, Grand Moorish Perspective class once again. And basically from our chapter 52, social duties, and the subject, Ayat 6, our desire is to do good, and we search out the subhanallah. And we search out, let me find it real quick. I got reading off my paper real quick. It says his desire is to do good, and we search out the occasions, therefore, in removing the oppressions of another, he relieved himself. And basically, Grand Man, I just wanted to say gratitude for the Grand Moorish Perspective class, Grand class, and Grand Thought Process. And basically, you was letting one know, basically one needs to get in line with the Prophet and basically get away from carnal thinking, because, as we go through our Moorish Holy Quran questionnaires, we know our Holy Prophet gave us a question: how did man tear himself away from Allah? And the answer is through carnal thoughts, deeds, and words. And basically, this is basically one living off that fleshly flesh. So basically, you just let one know to basically stay in the higher self and be the gods that we are, because basically the Creator made us and know who made us and be one with Him, and just take these teachings and these studies that our Holy Prophet brought. And I praise to Allah, honest to our Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali for bringing us these teachings, because without him, we wouldn't have this government, we wouldn't have Act 1, and also we wouldn't have all the grand teachings that you bring on all the Moorish Perspective and all the classes that you bring, and also all the grand measures that my Moorish kid bring in the Book of Fire and everything that our Holy Prophet brought us to take and basically save ourselves. So gratitude for letting me speak, Grand Man, Grand Class. Peace and love.
Islam. In grand measure, brother, peace and love, and Islam to you as well. Gratitude for the love thought. Islam. Is there any other more? Islam, goddess.
Islam, Dr. Dendra and Nia Curtin Bay. First, let me rise and give praises to our great God Allah. I give honors to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to Act 1. I give honors to all my government officials, and I give honors to you, National Sister Grand Sheikh. I tell you, I'm glad my phone was muted because you was going in. I'm just sitting back. I was sitting back enjoying. I couldn't get the thing unmuted. That was a powerful lesson there, God, man, that you brought forth. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And your subject was his desire is to do good, and he researches out the occasion thereof, and removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. And that's a powerful ayat that our holy prophet has given to us too. And what I thought about, God, man, when you was bringing that powerful message on, I thought about how it says his desire is to do good. And I thought about how when we was in the Piscine area, and it was our desire. We wanted to do right. I know even for myself, I wanted to do right, but just seemed like it was always something that would, that would trip you up, cause you to mess up a sin, or what they was sin. Didn't realize at that time calling myself black was the real sin. But different little things that would trip us up. And now that I'm here in this government, and I've been under the prophet for a while now, and listening to his teachings, now I understand why we say it takes a more to teach a more how to be a more. Because when I think about even in Christianity, we was coming from a mindset of you ain't nobody. You just so low, you lower than the old worm in the dirt. You a old sinner saved by grace. See, when you have that type of attitude, your mindset is only going to rise to so high, because they had beat us over the head and told us we were nobody. They took everything from us and had us feeling inferior to them. We thought we was just, by and by it'll work out somehow, and sometime, when the sky crack open, all that no that we were taught. But like I say, now that I know, and when you get these teachings, like you say, like the ayah say, is his desire is to do good. When you start getting these teachings, then that desire to do good, you can see, and you start to learn that you got a lower self and a higher self. It ain't nothing outside of you. They taught us about the devil this and the devil made me do it. Looking at something on the outside of you, ain't nothing on the outside of you, family. If you want to see your devil, look within. It's all within you. And I loved it when you was talking about how sometimes we get the feeling like, well, we feel a certain kind of way about other people, or what people say, what people do. And you get to thinking, well, you get to thinking those negative thoughts. Our prophet told us to purify your heart and your mind, purify them thoughts, because everything began with a thought. And if you can't let nobody control you, can't nobody control you if you don't give them the power to. It all begins with a thought. So it don't matter what nobody else say. It matters about what the prophets say. What did the great God Allah say? You got to stand on his word. You got to stand on the prophet's teachings. And he say, keep me out front. If you don't, you ain't going to be able to make it through. Oh, wow. And to talk about how it helped in removing the oppression of others. That's what we ought to be about, because so many of our people are out there hurting. And sometimes you don't know, just a friendly smile to somebody and say, hey, how you doing? Just a smile. You don't know how far that might go and helping someone else. And it always should be our desire is to lift people up, not tear them down, not point out their faults. They already know what they're doing wrong. Come in there and lift them up and remind them who they are. You are a God. You are a Moorish American. You are a seed of the great God Allah, And I tell you, God, man, you got me fired up over here now. But gratitude for letting me share. That's my measure. Islam, peace and love.
And gratitude, Islam, and peace and love, sister, for that special drawing. Don't get no plainer than that. Goodness gracious. All right, Islam, next more. *6 your phone. Islam, Moors. Islam. Gratitude, grand man. What have you to say?
Islam, Sheikh, Sister Grand Sheikh. Islam family. I am Dr. Akula Aru, Jahudi Bay, North Carolina Consulate. First, let me rise and give all praise to mighty God Allah.
Give honors to our prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Give honors to the Moorish American government. Honors to officials, Act 1. Honors to our flag, our seal, our emblem. And honors to all Moorish Americans here, there, and everywhere. And honors to you, National Grand Assistant Grand Chief, for this Grand Moorish Perspectives class this evening. And honors to all those that speak before me, and honors to all those that will speak after me. Islam, our desire is to do good and research out the occasions thereof, and removing the oppression of another. We relive ourselves. Islam family, this is a grand class. Once again, I give honors to you for always uplifting and empowering us with divine knowledge and wisdom and strength. I gotta tell you, every time I come into class, the more perspectives I have to put that seatbelt on because we want me to jump up, because you give that elevation to us. It's knowledge and wisdom and strength that haven't heard in quite a long time. We've had our leaders come before and give us knowledge and wisdom, and we still continue to do the same things that we've always been doing. Running around, running on that wheel. We have the knowledge of our prophet who brought everything it takes to free us, and ones are still continuing to drag each other back down whenever they see another brother or sister progressing or even wanting to go outside of slavery. They want to bring our brother and sister back into that bondage. This type of mentality has to cease. We're not trying to stop anyone from doing what they're doing. They want to be Negro, they want to be a slave, they can be that. But let us who want to be free, let us who want to have happiness in our family, that we'll see our children grow in knowledge of themselves and their history, their rich history of who they are. Let us have that. Our people are waking up around the world. We see that. Those of us that have any type of consciousness feel that. Our people are no longer blind to the things that have been happening to us for hundreds of years and continue to happen. We're not doing that no more. We have the knowledge of ourselves, and I love what it says in Grand Man, I love what it says in Ayat 7. From the largeness of his mind, he comprehendeth in his wishes the happiness of all men. And from the generosity of his heart, he endeavored to promote it. Islam. So, and this is something that yourself is doing out of the generosity of your heart. You're giving us the tools and the keys to enrich ourselves, to give us a understanding of what the prophet had brought us. And I just love everything about this government. I know I say it so much, but I can't. It's in me. I can't help it. I love everything that we're doing, everything that we're learning, and it improves who we are as a people. We've taken too much. We've been through too much. We have what it takes to free ourselves. So, it doesn't take a lot of effort to understand and feel truth, to hear truth. It doesn't take a lot of effort to feel the love from people that are trying to give it to you. And this is, we have our hand out, reaching out to our people. Come home. Come home. Islam family, Islam. Peace and love, Grand National Assistant Grand Chief. Forgive me, Grand Man. I'm a little hyped up because I tell you, you be putting that out there, and Islam family. Peace and love. Islamist, you're speaking National Grand Assistant Sheikh. We can hear you.
Islam. Can you hear me now,
Islam?
Grand Man? Hold up.
There you go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. Islam, grand class.
Gratitude, Brother Jehudi Bey, for being on the front line. And we just say gratitude to you and your tribe, brother, for all it is that you do and everything you will do and all things you have done in continuance. You know, in a powerful measure, brother. Powerful measure. You know, we got plenty of time for our Moorish kin who would like to come forth and exercise their 5. We're going up until 9, family. Is there any other more who would like to come forth, or even some of our family out there in the audience? The link is there if you want to come forth and deal with this subject matter. All is well. Okay. We're going to start drafting then. We don't make no threats. We make promises. Islam, where you at, Justice L, baby?
Islam.
All right, Marvin Edward, baby, we're going to get you first, and we're going to draft the rest of them out there. We're going to see who gonna support their prophet. Islam. Go ahead, Brother Marvin Edwards.
Okay, gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Gratitude for calling me. Yeah, I am Dr. Marvin Edwards Bey, Consul General of the Texas Council and Rising, giving all praises to the great God of Allah, giving the highest honor to his prophet, our prophet, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hasri to Abdul Ali. Give high honor to our theocratic government, our Moorish American government. Give high honor to Act 1. I give high honor to all of our figures. I give high honor to this class, our Moorish perspectives class, as well as I give honor to you, Dr. Sedu Amintia Mohamed Sepsuel, for hosting and instructing this most powerful Moorish perspectives class. As well as I give honor to all those that aided in bringing forth this class this evening. I give honor to everything that's Moorish. Our flag, our seal, our emblem, our divine constitution, Holy Quran, Book of Belief, the 101, 102, like human other nations. All of our divine revelation, I give honor. I think I said it, but I'm going to say it again. Honor to our Act 1. I give honor to all of our officials. And honor to all those that gave their measures before me, and all that will give their measures after me. This was a very powerful class, and you gave a very powerful message. You know, I was kind of moving about, so I had to get where I could speak without any interruption on the outside. So, and I don't have the video open at this point. So I can, oh, wait a minute. Okay, I see it. I did see it. Okay, well, we're coming from Ayat 6. His desire to do good, and he researches out the occasion thereof in removing the oppression of another. And, you know, as in removing the oppression of another, he relieveth himself. And you spoke on all of this, you know. You spoke on how when we aid and assist our brothers and sisters, we're actually aiding and assisting ourselves. And this is what a Moorish American knows for a fact. So this is all part of our uplifting of fallen humanity. We don't get these lessons just to say sit on them. We get them so that we can uplift ourselves and by the same token uplift our brothers and sisters, uplifting fallen humanity. I mean, you know, it's a two-way street, so to speak. You know what I mean? Everything is connected, interconnected. You know, when you talk about the cosmos, you know what I mean? You talk about the microcosm and the microcosm. I mean, this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? We being spirit beings, you know, we, you know, this is what we see. You know, as above, so below. You know what I mean? And as we look at this lesson, the prophet always bring us some powerful instructions. If we but listen, if we but pay attention, holy instructions from the prophet's social duties. You know, I mean, he gave all of this for our well-being. You know what I mean? So this is why we have to continually study. You know what I mean? As more scientists, that's our motto, so to speak. You know what I mean? To study the self. You know, it's not just something that's to be saying something. But this is instruction. This is the law. You know what I mean? A law governing all things. You know, so we know that thought is the cause of it all. So as we cultivate our own minds, you know what I mean, and allow ourselves to unfold as the seed to unfold, you know, and then we get to a level to where we can't help but speak the truth. You know what I mean? We be the message that we bring. And that's the beautiful part about it. When we become the message that we bring, everything we do, say, you know what I mean? Everything we do and say bears witness to this. I mean, because we are the witness bearers that there is no God but the great God Allah. I mean, this is our purpose here on this earth. You know what I mean? To build the temple of perfected man. Because we were God. I mean, we are God. But you know what I mean? We ruled, we ruled the earth before, and we will rule it again. You know what I mean? But this time we're going to rule it in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, the five highest principles known to man. You know, so if we but take what our prophet brought us, I mean, he told us to take it and save ourselves and save our brothers and sisters as we take it on. You know what I mean? And so this is, I mean, it's just so beautiful to be here in this Morris American government. It's so beautiful to be alive here in this new era of time now. Because we could have been born back when we were shackled, and our people that went through that, they enable us to show up. They enable us to be here because they endured. You know what I mean? They wanted to stay alive long enough till we can be on the manifest. And it is our job today. Each more that's here in this class, and each more that's on the manifest period, whether they know it or not. This is our job. This is our mission to uplift our people. And then when we uplift all our people, then we can go in, you know, as the Grand Chief said the other night, go and teach those Moors in the East. You know, go and straighten out the Moors in the East. Because the Prophet brought us the pure truth. You know what I mean? He didn't bring in any kind of offset way. You know what I mean? You can't even misconstrue the Prophet's teaching. Especially here in this Moorish American government, because there are many Moors that say they're Moorish American, and they are, but they may not have unfolded. So that's the key. Unfolding to be the message that you bring, you know what I mean, to the highest level. And this is where we show, you know what I mean, this is where we exemplify social duties. Because the Prophet gave us the instructions, and that's an assistant Grand Chief, you know what I mean, brought it plain tonight. You know what I mean? And so this is what it's all about, Morris. And I'm so grateful for being here. I can't say it enough. And I say praise Allah for sending us the Prophet. Because if it wasn't for the Prophet, we'd still be walking around here calling ourselves Negroes, colors, and black, African Americans, Ethiopians, like our brothers and sisters are still doing. But, you know what I mean? As long as we stand up and to continue to stand up, not fall back climbing, you know what I mean, trying to run after that fiat. No, that's the wrong concept. You're on the right road, but you're just going the wrong way. You're headed in the wrong direction. And I'm so grateful for you, Dr. Shedder, and Minty, such well, for always standing at the ready. You know what I mean? Exemplifying what it is to be a Moorish American. So all the more that's online, you're here not by accident. And I know I don't, you know, have to tell you to say, watch John Maxson Grand Chief. He's showing you, just like the Prophet did. You know, as we are, as Moorish Americans, following in the footsteps of the Prophet. He left this footprint clearly heart. All we got to do is just take that step, one step, climb that 3-step ladder, that 12-step ladder, Be the message that you bring. And gratitude, God, man, for allowing me to speak. Very powerful class. Gratitude, gratitude. Islam and peace.
Islam. And gratitude for the measure, Brother Marvin Evans Bay. Powerful measure, brother. Yes, sir. Thank you for your contribution to your nation. Islam. Islamism. We still got a little time left, Moors. Going to question the special measure that when we get into this aspect, our condition, and being able to understand if we don't question our condition, we'll never know the answer, so to speak. So at this time, we're going to open up the floor again so that our family can give their special drawing, those who so choose. Islam. Is there any more in Moorish America that have anything to contribute to Moorish America right now? Islam.
Islam,
Islam, goddess and queen.
can you hear me?
Oh, I hear you loud and clear with divine ears.
Oh, praise Allah.
Praise
First I
you.
rise. No, Sister Nefertiti, Cambridge, Virginia. First I rise, giving all praises to Allah and honor to the Prophet Nabi Ali, giving honor to the Moorish American government, giving honor to our divine Constitution. And this is what it is, divine, because we are divine people. Praise Allah. I want to give honor to our flag, our symbol, our emblem, everything in which the Prophet brought for the uplifting of fallen humanity. I give honor to all those who spoke before me and all those who will speak after me. And I give honor to our listening audience. Praise Allah. And I give honor to each and every one of you. Praise Allah. This is a beautiful, beautiful class, Brother Shahid, that you are demonstrating from. And you can't do nothing but give praises to Allah that we got strong men and women here in our government, and they're not going nowhere. They're there to assist our people to get the understanding that about their nationality and divine creed. I know it was a time when I was out there too. I was going to put my fist up there, yeah, I'm black and I'm proud, Even though when I was a child, I say I ain't black. When they showed me the crayons, which one is you? And I ain't black. So as children, you automatically know that something's wrong here, And people try to get you to say it, but in this day and time, children, babies won't say it. They won't say they black. Okay? And I give praises to Allah and on to the Prophet because the new generation is looking. I mean, you got children that are 2, 3, 4 years old, and they will ask you questions about where they come from, where our people did, and why they keep calling us black when we're not. And how are you going to give the truth to your children when you don't have the truth yourself? I give praises to Allah and honor to the Prophet because he freed me, freed my child, and I didn't have to suffer because the Prophet was teaching me how to be a Moorish American. So you got to be taught how to be who you are. You can't nobody teach you that, okay, but another Moorish American
who is following in the footsteps of the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Everybody think we ain't supposed to have no prophet. Okay, let's get real. You know, you ain't supposed to have no prophet. Last person that was holy was Jesus. And he had blue hair, blue eyes, and blonde hair. You know, when I was coming through, I don't know what they're doing now. But, and my father used to say, don't bring that man up in my house, the picture. But that ain't how he look anyway, looking about. He had woolly hair just like you. You know, that's how it was in my home, you know. And I give praises to Allah for what my parents taught me in order for me to recognize my prophet. That's my prophet. You know, he came to free me from my bondage of mental slavery. Because that's what we got. We got mental slavery. You know, you got no chains around your feet and your hands, but you got chains around your mouth. I give praises to Allah and honor to the prophet. Because we have 5 divine principles from our forefather, not Rome, okay, but from our forefather. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. I give praise to Allah that these belong to us. We are the builders. These are the tools to build a mighty nation, which we are. Sometimes you might not feel like you are, but you are. You're part of a pure and clean nation. They talk about people committing suicide. Always have these negative things on the news and stuff about our special people. You know? And our prophet brought us the tools that we can use to get out of what? Depression. What is that, Lord self? You feel sorry for yourself. You feel sorry for yourself so bad that you don't want to hurt somebody. But you think somebody outside of you had put you in this position. You must understand when you're talking about slavery, that's a divine issue. It has nothing to do with Rome. You know, that's divine. The Father, He put us in there. That's just like if you had a child and that child was out of order, you put them in the corner and say, you stay in there until I tell you come out. Our divine Father did the same thing to us because we disobeyed. We went after gods of Europe, which we knew nothing of. Give praises to Allah and honor to the prophet for saving us as a people, not as one little person over here and one little person over there, but as a people, as a nation. When you are a nation, you move things. This don't have nothing to do with being an organization underneath somebody else's rule, where you can only say but so much or do but so much. Now, when you're a nation of people, you can move the world. You can move the universe with just a thought. Just a thought. Our prophet said for us to keep our hearts and minds pure with love and our bodies clean with water. You know, that's all we got to do is put the love out there. But the prophet also told us that we have, as a people, we have to learn how to love instead of hate. So you got to know the difference between the two. So that's why you got a Moorish American government, to teach you the difference. Because Rome ain't taught it to us. No, they ain't taught us nothing but hate. Hate your brother over here. Hate your sister over there. Okay? No, my organization's better than yours. No, I'm better than you. No, I'm the head. I want to be the head. Head of what? Where you leading them? The prophet's the head. And we are blessed that Allah said, I'm going to take this these chains off you now. And I'm going to send you a prophet. I'm going to send you somebody that can lead you to a destiny that's not uncertain nor unknown. Praise Allah, praise Allah. That's all you can say. And praise Allah for you, Brother Shaheed, for giving up this most beautiful demonstration for our brothers and sisters. And I'm going to say all over the world. Peace and love.
And Islam and peace and love, Goddess and Queen, for that grand drawing. That's right. That's what I'm talking about. Man, this is where the guides and the guiders of the nation arrive and derive from, people. It don't get no plainer than this here. So, we want to move on and also see if any amongst our family would like to come forth and give their portion of the understanding. Islam. All right, Sister Chairman.
Islam.
You got it.
Islam. Yes, sir. Islam, Grandman, how you be? Grand class.
Hey, I'm just as more as ever, directing the wind and the water. And if they ain't careful, some fire too.
Let's bring some fire.
Islam.
Yes, Lord, let's bring some fire. Because I tell you, man, I could just say all praise be to Allah. And honor to our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, for bringing us everything that it takes to save us as a nation. And we give honor to our grand national flag, emblem, and seal, divine constitution and bylaws of Moorish America. We give honor to our Moorish Perspective class, sponsored by our Moorish American government. And we give honors to our National Assistant Grand Sheikh, Dr. Shadu El-Minty El-Muhajjid Sebshuel, for this grand Moorish perspective and, teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. And I give honor to all the mighty Moors who spoke before me and all those who will speak after me. And, I caused the very first part of the class, and it just stood out to me because, you talked about, his desire. And we know that it takes a thought. This is the thought. When we talk about his desire is to do good and research it. Our prophet said, if I could just get you to think again, you would save yourself. Because to be able to think free, and I'm talking about a free, clean and pure nation of people, fearless, upright, and independent with the 5 highest principles known to man. See, then we can create our heaven right here on earth, being in our own Moorish American government, having a divine creed and nationality. Because without this, then, we see that there's just 3/5 person, in the United States corporation. And these are the malignancies that our people go through to this day. In the past couple of weeks, we've seen shootings in Oklahoma, Florida, all over, along with, just say strong weather. And with all these patterns going on across the land, we are still here in our Moorish American government, the Moorish American nationals, teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, because we know well that when people begin to think that their condition could be better, then this is what builds a nation. This is what powers forth a nation, because it shows the responsibility in the thought pattern. And, when we talk about what our divine creed and nationality brings, it gets rid of the anxiety, it gets rid of the negative thought patterns of being Negro, Black, and colored. Because these, our prophets say that Moors, wake up and don't go to sleep again, because we know that when you're not thinking, when you have anxiety, when you have a survival mindset, that means you're sleeping. That means that you're not sure of where your help comes from. So you're in constant worry and survival mode. And so I give honor to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali for bringing us everything that it takes to save us as a nation, because also this is special ayat dealing with, the desire
And then also, it makes me think about our divine constitution of Moorish America, Act 6. You know, this also represents humanity. You know what I'm saying? Us not being, clinging to the names that dispose ones to slavery. But our divine creed and nationality brings about a collective, a nation of people. See, being upright and fearless, independent, and we are together, we tie. Unity. Right there in our divine constitution, Moorish America. Salvation, our God, unity. So therefore, you know, we understand that to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, this is to be the Lord of the plane of soul and the Lord of the plane of things made manifest, because this is what the prophet taught and brought. And to this day, we are still carrying on. The message still tending to our social duties to teach our people, because we are a people, a collective people, known in this new era of time as Moorish American nationals and our Moorish American government. And what makes up a nation? What makes up a government? Well, we have our divine constitution of Moorish America. We have our grand national flag. We have our grand national seal and emblem. You see, because why? Now we have the protection of our government. And that's what we're trying, and this is what we're trying to get our people to see. As also you spoke about, Dr. Shaheed. Like, okay, yes, you come home to your government, proclaiming nationality, and continue, to be about your work. But we know that organizations, can't be a government, especially religious organizations, 501c3s. There's no saving power in these organizations. Because why? Well, what's the duty of a prophet? To save nations from the wrath of Allah. And who was Allah's prophet? Noble Drew Ali in this era of time. Because he came 5 times stronger. Like you also said, no, we don't place overcast, or we don't shy away from all the great prophets before. Yehoshua, Muhammad, Confucius, Buddha. But in this new era of time, our great God Allah sent to us a holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali, so that we can have the protection, that we can raise us up out that shallow grave of Negro, black, and colored. See, that's why we have our national study guide, the Exhument of a Nation, the Book of Fire. See, the biography of our prophet Noble Drew Ali, Al-Hajj Sharif Abdul Ali, brought forward by Swift Angel number 1. So I give honors, to the preservation of this nation, a clean and pure nation. I give honors to everything that we do in our theocratic society, theocratic government, because, well, we are people. We're going to continue to keep that light, shining bright, because to be a citizen, see, is to be, a Moorish American national in this new era of time. Because we know well, and I'll close with this, United States Corporation, the United States lets us know that a Negro cannot be a citizen of their government. Dred Scott case never been overturned, and also in their Constitution, 3/5 person. So this is what they think about, persons. This is what they think about us. And that's okay, because why? Well, I can look at our Grand National Seal. We've been a people ever since 1865. See, 13th, what they call the 13th Amendment, 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment. See, these amendments have no saving power. But also, we as a clean and pure nation are able to come into our own in the 2000 and be fearless, upright, and independent in our Moorish American government. Because our prophets say the Moors will come into their own in the 2000. And if you don't believe that Prophet Noble Drew Ali prophecies are true, well, you see him today. So with that being said, documentation beat conversation. Long live Moorish America, grand class, Islamism without the schism.
Islamism without the schism, brother. Gratitude for that drawing. Powerful measure. I got some drawings I'm going to bring on the manifest, to fill in the void, so to speak. We give honors to all of those who have already spoken, powerful measures. And I'm coming from a particular work called the Handbook of Yoruba and Religious Concepts. And this is by the brother Baba Ifa Karade. And he gives the measure from different books or through different paths that most of us are familiar with. You know, the Quran, the biblical, you know, the African aspect, and so forth and so on. And in one particular place where the brother was dealing with the paths, you know, one of them was actually Irasun Meji, and this is Ifa. Seek the place of honor and respect and accomplishment in this world, for you will become a revered ancestor, right? And then the Kemetic place that correspond with this, of course, would actually be coming from the text of Tahotep, which we went over a few weeks ago. It says, every person teaches as they act. They will speak to the children, and so that they will speak to their children. Each person will set an example and not give offense. Tahotep. Follow the footsteps of your ancestors, for the mind is trained through knowledge. Behold their words enduring books. Pour libations for your father and mother who rest in the valley of the dead. God will witness your action and accept it. For as you do for your parents, your children will do for you also. Ani. Another measure dealing with the path, and this is Owuran Meji. Ifa, which actually has to be told, pardon self, and to like it, and to be given advice to accept it. It says to take advice in order to know what the world is like. Then a biblical correspondence to that is hear the counsel and receive instruction that thou mayest be wise in the latter end, and that's Proverbs 19:20. Then the African proverb that goes in line with this special path is give them advice and counsel them. If they do not learn, let adversity teach them. Ethiopia, that make me think about where I say let the ancestors sort them out. Yeah, okay, so we go on, right? In the path, it says Obarameje, Ifa, one must be uplifted from poverty-stricken acceptance and state of mind. Man, that make me think about that welfare recipient mentality I be talking about. It say there's no virtue in being in poverty. Be industrious and accomplish your desires. Wealth will come. That made me think, Brother Marcus, about Marcus Mosai Garvey when he said, up, you mighty race of people, and accomplish what you will. When the prophet said, wake up, Moors, you sleep-headed Moors, and don't go to sleep. Don't go bite to sleep. So in the path, there was a biblical correspondence that it says, love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. Proverbs 20, and that's actually verse 13. You know, that ain't strange because we talk about all of the times how our bread is being eaten by another. But anyway, it has an Egyptian measure, the Hosea, which is actually being diligent as long as you live, always doing more than is commanded of you. Do not misuse your time while following the heart, for it is offensive to the soul to waste one's time. Do not lose the daily opportunity to increase what you have, basically. That's Tahotep. And then another African proverb is simply poverty is slavery. And that's a term that's expressed in Somali in a path. It also says in another portion of the path, and this is actually Okanran Meji. It says, one must come to realize that stubbornness is not beneficial, that the truth regarding oneself must be listened to. Do not be overly influenced by your self-defensive ego. Problems in life are caused by negligence of oneself. I'm going to read that one again. That one powerful. One must come to realize that stubbornness is not beneficial. It don't benefit you. It's not beneficial. It don't benefit you to be stubborn. It says that the truth regarding oneself must be listened to. Do not be overly influenced by your self-defensive ego. Problems in life are caused by negligence of oneself, meaning you're going through what you're going through because of the way you neglect the truth. I'm going to let that marinate a bit. But anyway, we go on. It says the biblical path. It says every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth the hearts. Most people that like to lean on their own understanding, huh? Don't want to be told nothing, huh? Think they too grown to learn, huh? Think they too old to be taught, huh? Proverbs 21:2. Okay, in the Asian records, we find in their path, in archery, we have something of the superior person. When the archer misses the center of the target, he turns around and seeks the cause of his failure in himself. And that's from the doctrine of the mean, meaning he ain't blaming nobody else for it. He's looking at himself. He ain't blaming the truth teller for bringing the truth to him. So again, this is coming from Egypt, the Hosea, which means guard against the words and deeds of deception and against words that aren't true. Destroy the desire to do and speak evil within you, for the evil person hath no rest. Well, we all know that. That's from Ani. Well, here's another one. Agunda, pardon, self-magic. This is E5 path. Anger does not do anything for anyone. Patience is the father of good character. We're talking about doing good, right? Those who develop patience will enjoy long life. The next one, Kemet again, Egypt again. And this is actually from Ankh-Sheshanki, pardon self. It says, be gentle and patient, and then your character will be beautiful. It is in the development of character that instruction succeeds. Learn the structure and functioning of the sky. Learn the structure and functioning of the earth. As it is above, so below, huh? African proverb. A little subtleness is better than a lot of force. Zaire. You know, so man, I mean, it goes on and on and on. This is a powerful demonstration right here. You know, so yeah, we got to start really going into the self and really building, so to speak. We got to really go into the essence of ourselves, find ourselves, and elevate, family. You know, we just say gratitude and Islam to our family. And if there's anybody that may want to say something before we get ready to go to the officials, you got time to come forth, Islam.
Will do, Divine One.
Islam.
Love Divine. That's the number 1 5 6 8 definition. Well, we'll try other great God of love, great God of the universe. And as I hear you say, you're gonna draft, you know, it make I have to think about, you know, you can't draft NDC because you have to draft the one that was here before. You know, like Dr. Malik Kelby and some of these Divine One that was here, because, you know, I see these ones with these games. I hear the family talk about shoot and dribble and all these things, but make I think when I see some of these ones that they play the game, the sport, talk about draft in the family, you know what I mean? Because I say we have to go back and get the one that was here before, because they would have known, you know, the symbol and the sign and the search foot and so on, because the one that in the NDC mindset, you know, they say, you know, uphold the ancient forefathers flag. But the one that was here before, as I say, when I hear the draft, that's what come to mind, you know, you'd have to go back and get the one that was here with the fire. Because then I say, when I first come, I hear some of these ones, and I hear the family say, you know, they leave the government, but how can you leave something that belongs to you? You'll be on the sideline, as the family would say, you know, you take me off of the bed and so forth and so on, and take over the place. But as I say, once we come back together, we have to take over what belongs to us, 60 million plus. So that I say, it's take the Samadar workshop of the mind. It's something the other night, while I say, stop you, bubblegum and all these things, fix the script and all these things. And say, you know, and just to master these lessons and the essence, as I say, we're coming back, as I say, like a galactic weapon. Divine One, peace, love, and love by our God. One love.
Islam, brother. You know, the prophet say man will find himself where he can solve his problem best. Islamism without the schism. Peace and love. Well, all right. At this time, you know, because ain't no need in wasting a minute, you know, we're going to go ahead and call forth the officials and open up the way to Act 1 so that we can hear from our Moorish kin. Islam. All right. We're going to start by calling forth our beloved goddess and queen, Sister Alseta Moonel, if she's present. Islam. Are you there, Sister Alseta Moonel? Assistant Grand National Secretary of Moorish America. Well, all right, we know she's about our Father's business. Islam. But let us, well, we know our Grand Mufti is on a mission, so, you know, we'll go forth to our Grand National Secretary of the State, Sister Hatshepsut Rakat Ma'at Anpu, Tutankhamun Bey. Islam, you there, Goddess and Queen?
Close as a thought, gratitude.
Islamism, that's my attitude.
Praise the Lord. Grand class, Dr. Shaheed. Islam Moorish kin, first of all, I want to rise, giving all praises to our Father God Allah, giving honor to our Prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the last prophet in these days and times, giving honor to our Moorish American government, all of our officials, staff, with angels, muftis, divine ministers, most especially our Moorish kin. Giving honor to all those Moors that spoke before me, all those Moors that will speak after me. Giving a special honor to our National Assistant Grand Sheikh of Moorish America, Dr. Shedowa Menti, El Mahed Chepsuel, for opening our meeting according to law and also hosting this Grand Moorish Perspectives class this evening. Our subject matter, coming from Ayat 6 of our subject chapter for the week, our desire is to do good, and we research it out, the occasions thereof. In removing the oppression of another, we relieve it ourselves. And I tell you, Dr. Shaheed, just like Dr. Dedra was speaking, I'm so glad I had the mute button on. I tell you, because you had some powerful drawings that you brought forth. When you were speaking about we can't be free unless our people are free. That's a unified state of mind, something that is natural to us, because we are a peace-loving people. We are God-like. We just have got to recognize the various indoctrinations that have been placed upon our mindset, especially here in the West. And we see that it's not just specifically to the West, because this is part of a worldwide demonstration to redirect the course of who we naturally are as a people. So when we look at the fact that we want for our brothers and sisters what we want for ourselves, I'm quite sure that everyone can identify with that. If you are keeping it above the neck or demonstrating from the level of the higher self. And I personally have experienced, you know, when our prophet said thought is the cause of it all. And when you do those things that are of a benefit to your people, not for show or not because you want your name out there, but you're doing it just because it's the right thing to do, then you are bringing about ethereal blessings to yourself, or positive karmic debt, or what one would call being on the credit side of life. You know, you do those things because that's what is right to do. And this is what our ancient forefathers taught. If we are here representing the Creator on this plane, and we are the Lord of the plane of things made manifest and the Lord of the plane of soul, then we are out there automatically in the forefront. So by us being the children of the Most High, why not demonstrate those things that are life-giving, life-building, etc., as opposed to destruction, death, and everything that brings about pain and shame. I had to laugh when you were coming from the level of stop allowing people to take advantage of you. And too often, when one lets the world or the public know that they are Moorish Americans or they are Moorish American Muslims, they think that you have a target on your back, or that you're willing to take any old thing, any scheme, or how I can get over, or manipulate or maneuver, nothing could be further from the truth. When you have the protection of the Creator around you, then as the old folks would say, if you go to dig a ditch for one, you end up digging a ditch for yourself. So it's not good to mess with those that are vanguards or standing, representing the Creator and demonstrating that love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. So you want to be in accord with universal law. And prior to the advent of coming into our Moorish American government, or learning the lessons and truths of Prophet Noble Drew Ali, I didn't have a clue of what being in accord with universal law is. But when you suffer enough, or when you keep finding obstacles and blockages, and this ain't working out, and that's not working out, then you learn. You got to look at what's the starting point. My mindset. If I'm thinking negatively, I'm creating not only a hellish way of thinking for myself, but I'm also going to create negative conditions around me, because that's my low rate of vibration. And like attracts like. So why not demonstrate from keeping it above the neck, or those positive things, or being uplifting? Not so much for being able to save oneself, but how you can aid and assist others. The other aspect, when I was looking at the subject matter, and the Prophet lets us know that Moors are active and not passive. So looking at the action in this particular ayat that you brought forth, Moor, our desire is to do good. So that's starting off with the intent. What you hope for your people is based upon your love for your people. Okay, what it is that you want to do, how you can be of a benefit. Then you see that word "and." We research it out the occasions thereof. So you're not just saying, okay, well, I did something for Sister L over there, and I'm done. It says we research it out the occasions thereof. So this is where you go into self and say, and this is an action to research. How am I going to get this done? How am I going to bring this particular thing forth? What talent do I have that I can use that's going to be of a benefit to my people? What exactly is needed by my people? So in order for me to do the research, I've got to study. I've got to study history. I've got to know that I can rely upon my Creator. Sometimes it takes trial and error. Well, no, it doesn't work this way. Let me see if it's going to work this way. The more that you learn, the more that you grow, and also the more that you can assist your brothers and sisters along the way. The other aspect that I was looking at action is in removing the oppression of another. So when you talk about removing something, you're talking about taking away that particular difficulty or burden to get rid of it. Well, what better removing of oppression is it than enlightening our people to bring them out of that state of mental slavery that our people have now? Letting them know that they are not Negro, black, colored, Ethiopian, that these are just misnomers given to them by the slaveholders, slave owners, etc., to keep them on a status of 3/5 of all other persons, or in essence, not even human or property. And this is what the laws have dictated. This is why our people have so many problems. So that enlightenment of truth, and so much so, it's written into our laws. Acts 6, we are here to teach our people their nationality and their divine creed. This is the truth that the prophet brought to us. So if you have an issue that is dominating your entire being from the cradle to the grave, and here you have a prophet sent, divinely prepared by the Creator, to bring you the truth, not only to tell you what the problem is, but also what the solution is, who wouldn't want to use that to get themselves out of the muck and the mire and the mud pit? Okay? And then the last aspect is dealing with relieving ourselves. So we don't want to see our people suffer. We don't want to see our people being in pain or getting slaughtered in the streets, being used as fodder for genocide. So when we are able to, give the light of truth, aid and assist. If you're hungry, here's some food. We recognize the fact of the 12 crown jewels, and yes, we meet our people where they are. So this is a benefit to our soul, our mindset, because we are doing what we're supposed to do. That demonstration of do good, be that, that's fruition. So gratitude more for calling me forth. This is such a powerful class. So many degrees for it. The gratitude for that measure. Peace and love.
Islamism, man. If that ain't no gift from the treasures of the great God Allah, I don't know what it is. They don't know what jewels are. Islam Grand National Secretary of State for that powerful measure. Boy, the ethers vibrated in that drawing. But speaking of the ethers vibrating, now you're going to see what it, the saving power look like. We're going to call for our Grand National Chairman, Dr. Acting Pert M. Heru, took the coming bay. Yeah, I said it. Islam, you there, Chairman? Where you at?
What's up? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I hear you. I'm ready too, Chairman. You just let me know when.
Oh, man, oh, man. I give praise to Allah and honor Prophet Noble Ali. Say much honor to Noble Ali for bringing us, the Morris American Nationals, everything that it takes to save ourselves, especially save ourselves as a nation. But to also extend much honor to all those that had the option. Oh, man, it's a powerful class. Before we want to just give much honor, especially when you take into consideration the duty that you have under the social actions of a government, of a nation of people, then you would have your responsibility of everything. I'm talking from the time that you wake up in the morning until you go to bed at whenever. Okay? The thing about it is that it's your responsibility to be, it's the same thing as if you are a father or a mother or a parent, then your responsibility to take care of that child. Like so, by you being a citizen of Morris America, of your own government, then you have a responsibility to take care and enforce the law and nature of your special government. That's your responsibility. That's why the first question in the questionnaire is who made your years? So wake up. And the thing about it is that it's up to you. Did North make you? Oh, it was divinity that made you. Just be that, act that, do that. That's what I gotta say more. Islam is without the skills of peace.
Islamism. Gratitude, Chairman, for that special drawing. Do this. Man, goodness gracious. Well, we already know our National Grand Sheik most definitely on the manifest. Dr. Serapis Amin Rael. Islam, you there, Sheik?
Here, there, and everywhere, ain't there?
Islam, I know you ready to sing that song and play that melody, Sheik.
Wait. Islam, we really don't have to do it. It's laid out in such a glorious fashion, and the truth is something that really melts the heart of those who was resistant to it. It gives one the opportunity to go within itself and actually see what is going on. Why am I doing the things that I do? Why am I not doing the things I'm supposed to do? And going in there and wrestle with that self, you look at your higher self, which is the mother of virtues and the harmony of light. She breathes justice, mercy, love, and right. Looking at the other side, hate to slander, lewdness, murder, and death, there's a thing where we don't want that because we know it transfers us to the not aspect instead of being in the alt aspect. So we definitely want to rise up. That prophet said, rise up, you dirty Moors. Not, he didn't call you dirty Moors, you say you're dirty more when you do certain things that a Moor is not supposed to. So in the context of rising up, you know these things that are in the Moor's dominion, if you will, that gives us the power and authority to say yes or no, yea or nay, to give one the option of being great as one would seek to have his children or grandchildren. The chairman spoke on that. And the fact that we, as a people, meet on a day-to-day basis, not to critique or criticize each other, but to deal with each other, to stroke that a clock of destiny to where that time never was when man was not. We moved in that lesson of being the blessing that we are as a people. And I sure appreciate you setting it out like that, grand man. This has been a grand presentation, and truly one has to salute you, on behalf of the nation. Islam is the law, and the law is alive. Islamism is our religion, our love is Islamism. Islam was January 15, 1929. Warning from the prophet to be read in all meetings. I hereby inform all citizens they must be in all agitating speeches while they're working on the streets. We have to peace and not destruction. Stop blasting your cars to Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be a severe consequence. We have to love truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice then will take its course. Any citizen or group of citizens who hold religious feelings towards the government or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from life for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law that's laid down in them by the prophet. They lose confidence in their prophet. They should turn in their carbon button, cease wearing their turbans of affairs, and return to the state where the prophet found them. This is a holy divine movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. This divine warning is supreme laws now and will be enforced by the said government hereby. Islam, Islam, Islam. A holy covenant of the Asiatic nation. You are the children of one father, provided for by his care, and the breast of one mother has given you son. That the bonds of affection therefore unite you with our brothers. That peace and happiness may dwell in our father's house. And when you separate in the world, remember the relation that binds you to love and unity, and to burn out a stranger before thy own blood. If our brothers in adversity, assist them. If our sisters in trouble, forsake her not. So shall the fortunes of our prophet contribute to the support of his whole race, and his care be continued to you all in your love to each other. Islam, Islam, Islam. This meeting is officially closed according to Act 2 of our divine constitution, and love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Go in peace, Moors. Long live Moorish America. Islam. Islam. Goodbye.
Grand class, Dr. Saeed.
Great class, Mr. Green. Grand class. Don't forget to pay your dues, Moors. We love you, family.
Love you,
Peace and
Moors.
love.
Islam, Moors, we love you. Peace and love.
Good class. Good class.
Our desire is to do good.
Good class.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Islamism, don't let them tell you no different, Moors. Our desire is to do good.
That's right. Islam.
Islam. See you Moors in Sunday school.
That's right.
Well, the
Islam.
guys and the guys of the nation derived from Sunday school. Islam. Peace and love, Moors.
Peace and love.
All right, we want to give honors to our family out there. Our brother Noble Brian. Want to give honors to you. Want to give honors to our brother Zoo 221. Honors to you, family. Honors to our brother Yaqub Ahmed Gamal Bey. Honors to all of the family that checked in. Facebook user. I know that's the Special Agent Mufti. We give honors to your family. You know, also our brother Gabri Agzi Aber here. I'm gonna get that name right. Noble Brian L. All of you family. It's all love, family. Peace and love. And may your day be even greater than it was today. Tomorrow. Peace.